Please welcome to the stage U.S. Army Lieutenant General Jack Stultz, who is the Chief of the Army Reserve from 2006 through 2012.
Well, the good news is I'm the last speaker. But good afternoon. My name is Jack Stultz, and I am a soldier for life. Maybe not physically, but it stays right here in your heart. Thanks to Michelle and for the invitation to come down here and speak, and thanks to all of you for being here. That really means a lot, to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice. As has been mentioned by the mayor, you know, the origin of Memorial Day really started after the Civil War, when communities across America started putting flowers on the graves of those who had fallen. Over 600,000 suffered hostile and non-hostile deaths during the Civil War. And it just spread across America. And then after World War I, they expanded it to say it includes all wars. And then as he mentioned, in 71, they made it an official national holiday. You know, over the last 245 years or so, the United States has been in 83 wars and conflicts. And if you pause to understand the cost of freedom, of what we enjoy today, just as Sergeant Wall was talking about, World War I, over 50,000 hostile deaths, over 60,000 non-hostile deaths. World War II, almost 300,000 hostile deaths, over 115,000 non-hostile. Korea, over 33,000 hostile, almost 3,000 non-hostile. Vietnam, almost 50,000 hostile deaths, and over 10,000 non-hostile. Desert Storm, 148 hostile deaths and 235 non-hostile. In the current conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan, well over 5,000 hostile and 1,500 non-hostile. So we pause today to celebrate the spirit of America and to honor those that have given all. We affirm our admiration and support for our men and women in uniform and their families, especially our Gold Star families. We will not forget them. We pause today to protect our future by pausing to pay tribute and memorialize those that have sacrificed their lives for our freedom. Today we are able to defend our liberty with an all-volunteer force. Very few countries have that. A famous person once said, "The willingness with which our young people are likely to serve in any war, no matter how justified, shall be directly proportional to how they perceive the veterans of earlier wars were treated and appreciated by their nation." It's pretty insightful. That individual was George Washington that said that. His statement still rings true today. Our ability to defend our nation, protect our freedom, is directly proportional to how we memorialize and appreciate those that have served. You know, on a day like today, I stop and remember, as has been mentioned, the names. I can remember Sergeant Ramon Ramirez. I can remember Staff Sergeant Carmen Sarno. I can remember Sergeant First Class David Lloyd, and many, many others. Specialist Paul Nakamura. Let me tell you a little bit about Paul Nakamura. He was from Santa Fe Springs, California. Great athlete, a swimmer, lifeguard. He was on his high school water polo team, and he was a medic. In June of '03, we got a call saying that one of our convoys had been hit with an ambush up near Alexandria. But they had fought off the ambush and they just had some wounded soldiers. So we dispatched the ambulance company, which Paul was part of, to go and retrieve the wounded. Paul was in the back of one of the ambulances treating a wounded soldier when the enemy hit it with a rocket propelled grenade. And at the age of 21, we lost Paul Nakamura. Robert Henderson, First Lieutenant Robert Henderson, Kentucky National Guard. Robert was from Bowling Green, Kentucky. He was part of the 2123rd Transportation Company. Now, the 2123rd was what we called a HET company, Heavy Equipment Transport. And if you've ever seen a HET, it's a huge truck. Got a big old Oshkosh cab, and it's got a trailer that's got 40 tires on the trailer, because it carries an 80-ton M1A1 combat-loaded tank. In April of 2004, we had a resurgence of hostilities up in Iraq, and they were trying to cut off our supply lines. They were blowing bridges. We had been bringing home the 1st Armored Division out of Iraq, and the decision was made to put them back in. And so we were loading their tanks back up on our heads and carrying them back up toward Baghdad. So as I often did, I went out one morning to see the convoys off, and that's where I met Robert. His unit was getting ready to leave, heading up into Iraq. We kind of struck up a conversation. I asked him what he did for a living. He said he works for Lowe's Hardware. And I said, well, my father-in-law worked for Lowe's. And he said, well, can you put a good word in for me? And I said, no, he's retired. But he said, hey, sir, one thing I want to ask. Is it possible for me to get some R&R in June? And I said, why? And he said, well, my wife, Lisa, and I are expecting our first child. And I'd like to be there. And I said, Robert, listen, I missed the birth of my first child. I was in Germany on reforger exercise, and my wife was back at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, giving birth. And I said, my son's 27 years old now, and she doesn't bring it up more than once a week. So they get over it. Well, 2 days later, I got the call that Robert's convoy had been ambushed, and he and the lead Humvee had been killed. So he never got to hold Peyton. Peyton never got to see his father. I used to say our soldiers love America because they know America loves them. And today I like this to say our soldiers love Cape Coral because they know Cape Coral loves them. It really means a lot for you to be here today and to honor our men and women. I personally want to thank you. And I just ask everyone, just take a little bit of time and remember those that made the ultimate sacrifice, and remember those, their families also, as has been mentioned. God bless you for being here. God bless Cape Coral. And God bless America. Thank you.